episode of Musings podcast. I'm your host, Gungu Mildred, and I'm so happy that you've joined me today again. So, on today's episode, I thought about talking about the accidents that can occur in our homes. Because I don't know about you, but I live by myself, and I fear sometimes the fact that I live by myself. I feel like I will be walking and just knock on something and fall down, and it will take days before my body is found. Like I fear sometimes that I'll be eating and then I'll choke on something and then I'll just die, because who's going to do, like, what are they called? Yoku finya tumbo or whatever. Ndo chakula itoke, whatever has choked you. Because who's going to do that? Like, a time like right now, people are still not back from Christmas. So, like, in my flat, on my floor, I'm the only one who's there. So if something were to happen to me right now, like if I were to choke or there was an accident, who would I call for? Like, who will come to help me? Nobody. I know sometimes I say this so much to my family. Like, if I died in my house, God forbid, by myself, it will take, like, I don't know how long it takes for a body to start smelling. And by the time that happens, that's when the neighbors will be like, hey, kuna harufu mbaya inatoka kwa hii nyumba, ebu caretaker, come and check it out. And then they'll start asking, but tumeona msichana akitoka kwa nyumba kweli? No. Because the other thing is, nobody called me. Like, it will take like more than a week before my phone rings. My grandmother is the one who called me. Like, akiona wiki mzima imeenda kuisha, kama sijampigia, she'll call just to confirm that I'm there. Like, to confirm that I'm okay. But otherwise, nobody else calls me. And I've told this to my friends and my family, some of my family members, but they usually just listen, just let go, because I live by myself. And for some reason, they just never are concerned enough for them to call. So I feel like somebody should be calling me at least every other 2 days, just to confirm that I'm okay. Because accidents can happen. I remember Caroline Motoko's sister died, Regina, because she fell in a bathroom. I mean, and sometimes I'm there in the bathroom. Okay, the slippers that I use in the shower, they're like zimezoea floor, I don't know. So they don't slide, thank God, and I hope they never do. But sometimes if I step on the floor barefooted, I slide like terribly, and it scares the hell out of me, because there are so many hazards in our homes, aren't there? I mean, just in the shower, you can fall down bad. And like, okay, I live in a bed sitter, so my toilet and bathroom are in the same cubicle, let me call it. So sometimes I'm taking a shower and my mind, because it's just wild, it goes to like, what if I slid and I hit my neck on the toilet seat? Or what if I slid and then, I knocked my head on the knobs? What if that happened? Sometimes it's just when I get into my head, that scares the hell out of me, because I'm like, yo, what if that were to happen? The same way as I said, I could be eating something and I'm like, oh my God, what if a particle of food went the wrong way and I started choking? Who will help me? Yeah. So, I mean, homes are good. And as I always say, my house is my safe haven. But sometimes it scares the hell out of me to just live in this place by myself. As much as I enjoy living by myself, sometimes it scares the hell out of me. So, I'm going to give you examples. Just, I think, 2 examples of something that happened to me in this house while I was alone. So, the first accident happened, I think it was in 2023, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not really sure, but I feel like it was either in 2022 towards the end or in 2023. So I was washing one of my duvets, yeah. So my bathroom doesn't have that, I don't know what it's called. Hiyo mawe inaekangwa hapo kwa bafu ndio maji isitoke nje. So I don't know what that thing is called, but my bathroom doesn't have that. So whenever I clean, I usually have like a duster that's across the door to prevent water from going beyond that. So that day I had cleaned some clothes and my sheets and some towels and stuff like that. So I put the first bucket towards the door, which had the sheets and the towels. So I went back into the bathroom and I was cleaning out my duvet. So I washed it, but I didn't know that water was going beyond the duster. So there was water on the other side. Yeah. So I finished cleaning my duvet, and then I rinse it and I put it in one of the other buckets, and I go to put it near the door where the other bucket is, so that I can change it to something that I can go outside dressed in, like something appropriate for the outdoor. And then I can go and hang the clothes. So when I put the bucket on the other side, going to step back into the bathroom where I had my slippers, I slid because I didn't put my leg, like inside the bathroom or on the duster. I put it near, like, a sink. Okay, so there's this stone that holds the sink. I don't know how to refer to these things. Like where the sink is, that thing that holds the sink, like it's like a cupboard that, it has a door where I usually put my dustbin in. But now that stone, it's like a little square thing. So that is where I put my leg just in front of it, and there was some water there. So I slid from that water, and I hit my back on the wall that is that square thing for the that holds the sink. I hit my back so badly that I needed to go to the hospital for it, because I hit it and then I just slid up to the floor, and it was bad. My back was in so much pain. You can't even believe it. So I remember, I don't know how, I just got myself up and then I went and hung the clothes. But by the next day, my friend, hey, my back wasn't mine. It was in pain. I was so worried because, like the back holds the spine, so anything, it can leave you paralyzed and stuff. So I was so very worried. But yeah, that was one of the accidents that happened in my house while I was alone. Now, the second one, this one you might think that I'm crazy or something. So when I moved from home, as you've learned from my previous episode, I moved to Githurai. So when I moved there, I didn't have like a gas cooker or even a meko. I was using my grandmother's old stove, the one we used to use back in where we used to live. Like kitambo ilikuwanga tu ile for emergencies, it used to be in the house. So she gave it to me while I was moving out. So I used it for a while, a long while actually. But then I bought a cooker, so like a double cooker. Yeah, so I bought that, and then after some time a friend of mine helped me and I bought the cylinder with gas. So yeah, of course I had the regulator and the pipe, blah blah blah, everything connected, and I started using that. So I stayed with it for a while because I stayed in Githurai from 2013 to 2015, December 2015, and then I moved to Kasarani. So while I was moving, I removed the regulator from the gas cylinder, but I didn't like put it properly. I didn't keep it properly while I was transporting it. So I don't know why. I didn't know that it could be heat or something like that, or something will go wrong. So I just minily to a two from the gas, carried it in the box that the gas cooker was in. So, and I moved. Kufika Kasarani, during the evening, I go to connect the regulator because I want to cook dinner, and it's not like haijifungi, it's not locking in the cylinder. So I was like, what's happening? So I call a friend of mine who lives in Kasarani, and I'm like, can you come and help me? Because this thing is not working and I've been trying. I don't know anybody in this place. So I can go to the neighbor's house and ask. So he tells me he's still at work in town, but he's going to send a friend of his to come and check. Oh my God. That was the worst mistake ever, because this friend of his, alivunja kabisa. Like he made sure that regulator, you see that knob, ile ya unafinya ndio inajilock or something. Ako kitu kalivunjika. Like aliitoa. Because that man was struggling with that regulator, wewe. Don't. So, oh my God. I remember he wasted like either an hour doing that. And then he left saying like, oh, imekata. I was like, what? Why did you even waste all this time? Ningekuwa nishaenda nimetafuta mafuta ya stove, nikuje nipike. So, because that's what we had to do after he left. So, nilienda kutafuta mafuta ya stove, then I came, we made supper. And that was it. So after getting money, I bought the regulator. But I wish I had bought the regulator plus a different pipe. Because like you see that pipe that takes the gas from the cylinder to the cooker. So ilikuwa connected since I bought it. I bought it, connected to the regulator, connected to the cylinder, and that was it. It had never moved until I had to move. So I'd removed it. When I got to the new place in Kasarani, I just fixed it back in, and that was it. I didn't know that there was a hazard there, meaning it fixed two, and that was that. So what I didn't know at the time is that whenever I was cooking something like ugali, something that required physical, energy, like a lot of energy, and the gas would move, that pipe would be moving as well at the back, because it was fixed when I had bought it, but because I removed it and then put it back, it wasn't the same. It wasn't as tight as it was supposed to be, so it could move. So one day I'm cooking ugali, and then fire just comes up like poof, and I'm like, the hell? So I'm checking it, but because I have a hotel background, I was taught you switch the gas fast off. You switch the gas off fast before you try to run away or anything like that. Because again, you cannot put out gas fire with water. You're just adding the thing. So I switched off the cooker, the cylinder, and then the fire stopped. And I was like, what has happened? So I check where the fire came from, and I realized that the pipe has moved at the back. You would think that I went and bought another pipe immediately, but no. In my mind, I was like, mbona imetoka? And then I just returned it. Huge mistake. Now, that was just the first time that happened. I think with the fire, it happened a couple of times. But then I remember one night I was asleep, and then something wakes me up, and I wake up and there's gas all over the house. Like you do chomoka. Because what I would do stupidly was whenever it would come out, I will just put it back in, and then I'll continue cooking as if nothing ever happened. I wouldn't be checking every time I have cooked and after cooking. So like before cooking and after cooking, I will just cook and then leave it like that because leja chomoka, so I wouldn't check. But imekuwa ikisonga pole pole. So this night, it was in the middle of the night. I think it was almost morning, just before my alarm went off. And then something wakes me up, and I wake up and the gas is leaking, so pipe imechomoka. So imeanza kunuka kwa nyumba. I get out of bed quickly and I go and put it back. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. My fridge, it regulates itself. So what if when it did that, there was a spark? I mean, when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I will do after praying was switch on the lights. Maybe that one wouldn't have happened because I would have smelled the gas, but still. And also the gas itself, I think it's harmful for you to just keep inhaling it, or I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong, but I think it is. So, I mean, God was protecting me during those times, but I was just so careless. So what came to do it for me was one day, I remember it very vividly because I had just been to the salon. Nilikuwa nimeshukwa piece, like short braids, and then I'd come back home, and some of the braids zilikuwa zimechomoka from what I had tied the braids with, so they were hanging on my face, and I was making ugali again because ugali is what always made the gas cooker move. So I'm there cooking ugali, nena kupindua ugali, and then fire shrap to my face. This one came to my face. And one of the braids yenye ilikuwa imechomoka ilishika moto hapo chini. Can you imagine? Like me ningekuwa nimekimbizwa kitambo, because what was that? What was that? Like to my face. This time it was bad. Like I think God was just saying, wewe, ebu acha mchezo. So I switched it off again, calm down, because that one was a bad one. Like every other one was bad, but this one was bad. Like it was the worst. So I switched it off at the cylinder and then gave it a few minutes, because by that time I had learned to be cooking with my door open. So even now when I'm cooking, I never lock myself inside the house. I always make sure the door is open while I'm cooking. So I switched it off, pumzikat for a while. Uzuru gali ilikuwa imeanza kushikana, so I just covered it for a while and then returned the thing, switched back the gas, and then finished cooking ugali, hit my mboga, alafu ate. So, but this time, the next day, while going to work nilipitia kwa duka nikiuliza hiyo pipe ni pesa ngapi, and then I came and changed it. But up to now I'm still so traumatized by that up to now, before I switch on my gas cooker, I have to check that the pipe is intact at the back, because that traumatized me for life. So you see, like, that is an accident that can happen just to anyone. I remember my cousins one time, they were cooking on their meko, alafu that thing ikaendelea kuongeza moto tu, like wanajaribu kupunguza, inazidi kuongezeka. So the younger one ran to a friend of their mom's who came and took the meko and threw it off the balcony. And these were kids, like not so young that they didn't know how to use a meko. They knew how to use it. It's just that meko for some reason had a default that day. For some reason ilikuwa tu na shida hiyo siku. So yeah, ilikuwa inaendelea kuongezeka, wanapunguza, inaendelea kuongezeka, and they're like, what is happening? So their mom's friend came and threw it off the balcony, and then after switching it off, she threw it off the balcony, I think. Yeah. So ndio after some time wakaenda kucheck, wakaona iko sawa. They returned to the house. They had to change that thing, hiyo inashikanishangwa kwa meko. I don't know what it's called. But yeah, so those are my 2 accidents that happened in the house, and they were very, very close, because that one for my back, that mawe, I don't know how to call it, if it just hit my spine the wrong way, I'll probably be in a wheelchair right now. Again, God forbid. And then that fire with the gas, I mean, it will have exploded or something. And that would have taken even maybe my neighbors' houses and stuff, which would have been terrible. But Mungu alinilinda, Mungu alinitunza, so I'm still here. But just sometimes my mind goes there and I'm like, what will happen? Because there are a lot of accidents that can happen while you're at home alone. Because it's not just me that is living alone. It could be even you are with your family, but for some reason you're at home alone that time and you're doing whatever, and then an accident happens. So yeah, it's crazy that our homes are our safe havens, but they can have hazards, and there are a lot of hazards at home. So let's just be careful with whatever it is that we are doing, whenever we are doing whatever, even if it's just eating. Be careful. Be in the moment. Don't eat na umezubalia kitu ingine, not even concentrating on what you're doing, because shit can happen. So just be careful. Take care of yourselves. Don't be as careless as I was with my gas cooker. If you smell even a little bit of gas, do something about it. If you see a hazard like that, the pipe coming off all the time, be careful. Do something about it. Don't be as, I don't know if I can't say lazy. It was just careless, because I was like, sina hiyo pesa saizi, nitanunua ingine, and I kept postponing it until, well, Mungu aliniambia to my face. It was like, ndio hiyo. If you don't, the next time it won't be this. It will be worse. And so I had to do something about it. So yeah, so go to the comments down below and tell me any accidents that you have ever suffered in your home, or you fear of suffering in your home, and you just like, yeah, I don't know what I would do if that were to happen. Go to my Instagram page, Musings Podcast, and share it with me on the DMs, on the comments, and just tell me what it was or what you fear, because you can also just tell me what's your worst fear. Like, what do you fear happening to you while you're at home by yourself? Yeah, and let us discuss about it. Let us get to know each other more and stuff like that. So while you're doing that, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Please, I'm still intending on getting to 500 subscribers, so please help me with that. I know we're still at 19, but I hope that we are going to grow slowly by slowly. Okay, bye bye now.